Now, if you want to be inspired to take up sailing, look no further than Dee Caffari. We'll just name some of her achievements. First woman to sail single-handed and non-stop around the world in both directions, and the only female skipper in the 2017-18 Volvo Ocean Race. It's really nice to see you. You clearly love your sport, but there are stats this morning that 94% of British adults would not think about taking up sailing. Why do you think that is?
I think the harsh reality is it's the fear of the unknown, the challenge. But also sailing has a very poor reputation in this country, that it's inaccessible and unachievable by the average person, and that's simply not right.
It's not right. So it's not an elite. But don't you need money to sail?
But there are so many ways to get into sailing, and there's companies like Sunsail that offer holidays for people with experience or no experience, and they can get this experience on the water to see if they even like it before they then commit to any more sailing. We're an island nation with a long coastline, and we've got great accessibility. And if you want to go somewhere warmer, it's just as easy to go and have a warm, comfortable experience rather than the cold weather that we're experiencing now.
94% seems quite a high number. Can you see that changing? Can you see people changing their views and wanting to get into a boat and have a go?
I'm hoping that we can make a change to that number. It's scary that as an island nation we don't have many people willing to take the plunge and step foot on a boat. And if we can get the younger generation seeing it as a fun activity, that generally will encourage the adults to come too. And family holidays are fun. Imagine going on holiday where you can change your view from your bedroom window every single day and go to a different beach. And that's what a sailing holiday can do. And I think people just underestimate that it is possible, even if you have zero experience. So I think 2019 New Year's resolutions, people can take the plunge and give it a try.
Why are we so good at the Olympic Games? Why does the sailing team do so well if most British people don't want to get into a boat?
Well, that's quite unbelievable that we are so good at our British sailing, and we're top the medal table most of the time. But unfortunately, the other nations are learning our tricks, so we're going to have to keep pushing. We've got some great new talent coming up for 2020. And again, our offshore sailors are out there going around the world, setting records and doing crazy things. So we do have the ability, and hopefully these people will grow as personalities and there'll be inspirations to the new generation coming through, and we'll get more people on the water.
Speaking of crazy things, why does someone want to sail around the world 6 times?
That's a crazy person. Oh, no, that's me. Let me think. I love it. I love being out on the ocean. I love harnessing the power of nature, seeing all the natural environment at its best and worst, sadly. And with Sky Ocean Rescue, I really saw the impact of pollution on our oceans. And as an ocean advocate, I want to make that change. But I also learn every day, and I'm getting better at it. So I'm sure I've got another one in me.
You mentioned Sky Ocean Rescue. You know, we followed your journey, and it was much more than just racing, wasn't it? It was about the impact on the planet on plastic. Do you think people heard that message?
I'm very confident and inspired by how many people are growing in awareness. And I think timing was great, but we had a fantastic year of really putting that message home, showing the harsh realities of what we saw out there on the water. And I think this responsibility is growing from individuals, but also companies are looking to get on board with this and make changes and question their supply chain and really kind of answer the demand from the people. And the more we demand it as consumers, the more effect it's going to have at a higher level of manufacture, supply chain and legislation, hopefully.
Yeah, indeed. Fingers crossed. So just to finish, going back onto the sailing, Dee, as I said, you obviously love the sport. What inspired you? What made you say, I want to get into that boat and I want to take off?
I think ultimately it's the sense of freedom. You literally have nothing there but the power of nature to harness and make it work for you. You have a very finite resource at your disposal when you go offshore for days at a time. And it's that managing with no external influences. You know, imagine switching off from all that distraction that we have in our everyday life and just looking at a beautiful, endless horizon. I mean, it is quite a special environment. And I think when people step foot in a boat for the first time, or a little dinghy as a child, and they realise that they are totally responsible for making these things happen, that empowerment is huge. And it has a big knock-on effect for their well-being. So I definitely would encourage people to give sailing a try.
Sold. Dee, thank you very much for coming in. Great pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you.